Worrying about what people think of you is holding you back. Whatever you want to accomplish, you're not going to be able to do it as well as you want to if all you care about is what other people think of you. At the end of the day, there are going to be people that love what you do and people who love who you are for exactly who you are. And there are going to be people that hate what you do and people that hate who you are for being exactly you. Would you rather be fake just to get people's approval? Would you rather not express your true self just so 80% of people will like you instead of 60%? I know it's a pretty low number, but I know that in my life, if I say when I published my first poetry book, if all I cared about was what other people thought, I published it with the goal of obviously trying to help people overcome mental health issues and by sharing my own experiences overcoming depression and anxiety. But I know that deep down inside that I express myself authentically, and that's all I can do at the end of the day. And if I was too caught up on what other people think and other people's opinions, that would have held me back, and I would have probably been in the editing process forever. I would have never been able to pull the trigger and actually publish the book. And that's just one little example. Say you're a musician, say you're an artist that you haven't put out one song yet because you're too afraid of whether people are going to think it's bad or think it's good. And this is just from my own journey of putting spoken word poetry and music on Spotify and Apple Music and all those platforms, that it might not be that great at first. It depends how long you've been making music. I've only been making music for about a year, so my music at this point is not that good. But I've also made over about 100 songs, and I do know, I can see that I've been getting so much better as it's been going on. And it's just a fact that your 100th song that you make is going to be better than your first song. You're going to be getting better. I mean, that would be pretty sad if you made 100 songs and your best song was your first one, and they got worse and worse and worse as you went on. And that applies to any single thing that you want to do in life. And if you're going to be worrying about what other people think of you, well, you're not going to make that second song. You're not going to make that third song. You're not going to make that 100th song because you're going to be paralyzed by fear. Why are you letting fear of what other people think about you control your life? Why don't you just express yourself for who you truly are? Because the people that are going to gravitate towards that are the people that's opinions truly matter to you. And your own opinion, you should be your own biggest cheerleader. Your opinion should matter more than anybody else's. So why are you seeking validation and approval from outside you? Is it because that you don't have enough approval already inside you? I know that this was the case for me. I was always running around looking for approval from other people because I didn't feel like I was worthy. I didn't feel like I was a person of value. And when I really started to turn inwards and realize that I am worthy on the inside, that I do have all this validation, all this love and peace already inside me, I don't need to seek these from outside. And I realized that worrying about what other people thought of me was one of the biggest things that was holding me back. It was basically like I was trapping myself in a little box, a little box of self-expression, even though my self-expression is infinite. It's never ending, love bending, time bending, whatever. I love rhyming, but if I'm not expressing my true authentic self, fear is going to be holding me in a box. It's going to be holding me at a lower vibrational wavelength. Feeling lower vibrational emotions such as fear, anger, hatred, and I'm going to feel these inside. I'm not going to be able to release them, and I'm also going to be projecting this onto other people and kind of lashing out to other people. And if you don't go for it now, you're going to regret it at the end of your life. That's what it is. You're never going to regret going for something and failing, going for something and getting rejected. What you are going to regret is the what if. What if I didn't listen to what those people said and I just went for it and I released that song on Apple Music, Spotify, or I released that video on YouTube, or I wrote that book. I know for me it's just a freeing feeling that the more you do it, it's basically like you start this never-ending loop where you're just going to keep climbing and climbing and climbing up this mountain of self-expression. And my first video, you can already see how I'm far more confident speaking in this video. This is probably like my 25th or something than on my first video. I could only do that by starting the first video, and I know that there were definitely people who watched that first video who didn't like it, but I know that, and it was also called like you are a spiritual being living a human life, which will definitely trigger some people. Just like the thought of like being spiritual definitely freaks people out. I know that I never used to believe in that stuff, or I never used to think of that as reality, but then the deeper I went, that's a whole different rant. But I used to be afraid to kind of express that spiritual nature and really share these spiritual ideas with other people, because I know that that's not the mainstream. I know that not a lot of people think that way. Not a lot of people really feel that way deep inside. And I know that's fine now, because this is the way I've been living for about the past 2 years. And for the past probably year and 9 months, I kept this all to myself. I didn't think that there were other people out there who wanted to talk about this stuff, or other people out there that even cared to listen to it. And then I realized that there's a whole community on YouTube, so many books written, Power of Now, The Untethered Soul, just to name a few that have completely changed my life. But that's honestly my goal here, to try to help people seek these things, to train your mind to find the divine inside that I've begun to find and only really been able to scratch the surface. I mean, it really is infinite. You truly are infinite, and you're never going to realize this infinite nature, all you have in your true authenticity, if you're holding yourself back for what other people think of you, for fear of what other people think of you. You're trapping yourself in a box because you're too worried listening to other people who aren't doing anything else. The people that are judging you are doing far less than what you're doing, because I at least I know from my perspective, I don't really have time to judge other people. I don't want to waste the mental energy of, like, if I like what somebody's doing, I'll show them love, show them appreciation. But if there's something that I don't like watching or don't like doing, like, I don't waste my time to lash out and send hate at them. I mean, if somebody says something negative about you, it's really more about them than it is about you. I know you might think that's not true, but it's all really just a reflection of how you feel inside. And if you notice that if you don't really like yourself on the inside, if you don't show yourself this validation and you seek it from other people see this, and they're not going to give you that validation. They're going to act to you how you feel about yourself. They're going to feel about you how you feel about yourself. So if you're going to hate yourself on the inside and expect other people to love you, they're going to tell that you don't love yourself. They're not going to show you that love. Paradoxically, if you switch it to the opposite, where you really love yourself on the inside, then the importance of other people's opinions becomes far less. They can sense this. They can sense that you're confident in your own self. They can sense that you truly love yourself. And even if their approval doesn't matter anymore, they're going to gravitate to you, and they're going to show you that love that you already have in yourself. So it doesn't even matter that much to you anymore. But really, when you learn to take other people's opinions with a grain of salt, and you can obviously take them into account if you're running a business, if you have a product, because I mean, you're making it for other people, so you want it to be good, you want to keep improving, but you're not going to keep improving unless you're failing, unless you're making mistakes. I know that some of these videos that I publish haven't been that good, but I learned from the mistakes, and I couldn't learn from the mistakes unless I made them. That's what it is. You're not going to learn from anything if you're trapping yourself in this tiny little box of fear, in this tiny little box of doing things that are safe, playing it safe, so other people won't judge you, so other people won't think you're weird, or other people won't think you're out there. Because what really is normal? I definitely want to do a rant on that. Nothing is normal. You trying to convince yourself that you are normal, it's just denying your true authenticity. We're all weird in our own unique ways. That's what makes us special. We love each other for it, and it's all just love. People aren't thinking about you as much as you think that they're thinking about you. People are too worried about their own flaws and their own insecurities, just like you're worried about your own flaws and your own insecurities, and you're amplifying this. Start focusing on the aspects of yourself and others that you truly love, and you'll bring out this love and peace first inside you and then manifest it in the world around you. And that's my ideal version of heaven or utopia or whatever it is. It starts inside. How are you going to expect the world around you to be a perfect heaven, a perfect utopia, if you inside feel shitty, if you inside feel hatred and fearful? It starts on the inside. You can't expect the whole world around you to change and then you'll change. That's looking about it backwards. If you want love, find it inside yourself first. If you want validation from others, find it inside yourself first. Don't care what other people think about you. That is holding you back. Stop caring what other people think about you. That is holding you back from expressing your true, authentic self. Focus on spreading your message, spreading your love in whatever you want to do, whether it's art, poetry, music, making videos, in any way that you want. It doesn't even have to be artistic, but do it because you truly want to do it out of love. Don't do it out of fear from what anybody else thinks about you.